pictures of the property or something and walk through it. But I thought that would be really cool. I needed to get this done anyways. They said they can only do it at noon. And I was like, maybe we just do it live. So screw it. We'll do it live. So I am going to get started now. I'm actually going to be calling my guy, Artie. This is a lead that we've been working on together. So, actually, yeah, let's just do it, Artie. So you're on the phone call as well. So I'm going to give him a call.
Hey, Dylan, someone just said, and it's probably a good idea, don't forget to record.
Oh, yeah. I think we are.
Oh, okay, great.
It says YouTube. Post live on YouTube. Actually, yeah, let me just double check that real quick.
Angie's usually super good at it.
Yeah.
Making sure it's all recorded. I figured it was, but just a friendly reminder. But yeah,
no, yeah, good idea.
Keep calling me again.
Okay. Yep, we're live. There's one person watching us on YouTube. So sweet. Shout out to you, whoever that one person is on YouTube. Shout out to you. Oh, I'm accidentally calling Rachel. Okay, wait. Sorry. Someone says I already hung up on you. Someone says we're recording on YouTube. That person wants to change their life. Yeah, not recording on Zoom. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let me go yell at Angie. All right, here we go. All right, Artie, I'm calling you now.
Hello.
Yo, okay, so let me pull up our contract. This is for Philly.
912.
Okay. Actually, 1 second. Am I sharing my screen right now? Okay, good, okay.
But I do have the contract up. I'm gonna, go through everything at the same time with you.
Okay, sweet. I got it up too somewhere. Do you have her phone number? Do you want me to call her? Or I can find it either way.
Let me give it to you and you call. So,
okay, 1 second. 512
574 8778.
Okay, and it's Catherine, right? Okay. If you guys can hear that, give me a thumbs up, please. Sweet.
Your call has been forwarded.
Nice. Love that. Let's try again. Let's go. Don't answer it. All right, well, I'm gonna shoot her a text and then just hopefully she calls us back and then I'll bring you in already.
That sounds good.
Okay. All right, failed. Massive epic fail of epic proportions. Let me just shoot her a text. Hey, Catherine, oh, there she goes. Okay. Hey, Catherine. No worries. Is now still a good time?
Yeah, let me 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna bring Artie on the call as well real quick while you do that. Merging. Okay. And then, yeah, Catherine, if you want to bring in your client.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If you want to bring in your clients to go over the contract, or do you want to just go over with me? Okay. Okay. You guys can hear her talking, right? I think I hold it up to my headphone. Can't hear her well. Okay. A little bit choppy. Yeah, she's at the airport. It sounds super busy where she's at too, so that might be why.
Comments on the line. I think we're all here.
Okay. Yeah, hey Thomas, my name is Dylan. Nice to meet you. Right on. So yeah, I always like to walk my potential sellers through this purchase and sale agreement, just so that way you're fully aware and know completely how this contract will work and this transaction goes. So plus we'll have sort of a long-term relationship even after this closes, right? We'll still be connected. So as long as, do you guys have the contract pulled up in front of you? Okay, awesome. So we'll just start on page 1. And yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter for you guys to hear them. I'll try to keep it close. Okay, sorry. So we'll start on page 1. So obviously property address, if that looks good, there's a legal description and APN. That's what I found on my end. Catherine, if that looks off to you, maybe you can let me know. Earnest money, $1,000. That's pretty standard for what we always do. So if that works for you guys, and Thomas, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's just our good faith money. I'm sure you're familiar with earnest money. Okay, awesome. So yeah, our purchase price is $261,250. Now the box below that is checked as approximate, because your mortgage balance is approximate. So we just rounded it. So we're assuming it's around 254,000. So if you scroll down, the cash at close of escrow on the top of the next page is 7,250. Now that number is exact. So the purchase price is essentially 7,250 in addition to whatever your final mortgage balance is when we close. Okay. And I actually might need to rewrite this, I think, because maybe I'm getting another contract mixed up. Yeah, no, that should be right. Excuse me. Okay, so close of escrow on or about 30 days after MEC. That just stands for mutual execution of contract. So after we both sign, we're now under contract. So we should close in about 30 days. Does that work for you, or would you like to do something longer than that, or shorter ideally? Okay. And we can certainly try. So the on or about lets us close before, or if we need 5 days after, that about kind of gives us a buffer of a few days roughly. And that's what an attorney told us to wrote. On or about is a little bit easier, but we will definitely shoot to close this as soon as possible. But just expect it to be around 30 days. We have a handful of closings going on this month, so it may be a little bit too much for us to close this early, but we will certainly try. Okay, so our escrow agent, our title company is Kane Title LLC. They're out of Plano, Texas, just north of Dallas there. Brittany Washington, she's our escrow officer. That's who we've used to close a handful of deals in Texas and Oklahoma. So they're very responsive, great customer service, and very knowledgeable about these types of transactions.
I have a quick question. Is Friday already open?
It is not. No, I won't open it until we have a signed contract.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. And then so mailing address, I just put the address. I'm not sure. Are you still living there, Thomas?
Oh, no.
It's vacant. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And we'll just coordinate with title. That should be fine. We'll just coordinate with title to make sure you get an updated mailing address. So that's no big deal. All right. And then so that's my information there. That's the entity we will buy the property under, Legacy Property Solutions LLC. Sometimes what we do is we'll form a new entity and assign it to that entity that we own. So just a heads up, if we don't close under Legacy Property Solutions, that's why it might be a different entity. Our mailing address is Boulder, Colorado. That's my email, and that's my personal cell phone, which I called you guys on. Inspection period was 15 days. That's pretty standard for us. Like I said, we just have a lot of stuff going on. So, it might take us a week or so to at least get someone out to the property. We typically don't actually pay for full inspections. I will have someone nearby the property, someone on my team that's boots on the ground, go and take pictures for me and do that sort of stuff. So that's our inspection period. And then these are all the fees. So 100% paid by buyer, 100% paid by buyer, and 100% paid by buyer. So the money we offered you cash at close should be everything you get. And we'll pay all of the fees and your agent's commission as well. Okay. And then personal property to be included in the sale includes all items. So and I know Texas is a little bit different. You guys tend to keep some of the kitchen appliances, so maybe we could just have that conversation now. Ideally, we would have you guys leave the refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, oven, disposal, and hot water heater. Do you plan to take any of those?
No, sir.
Okay, sweet. Okay. And then washer and dryer, if you want to leave those, we'll take them, but you're more than welcome to take those as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I actually already took the washer and dryer, but fridge, washer.
Can you guys hear it better if I put it here?
Stove, microwave, stove, I have no intentions of taking.
Okay, and you already took what? I'm sorry?
The washer and the dryer.
Okay, perfect. Yep, that's totally cool with us. So that is no biggie whatsoever. Okay, sweet. So we'll keep going. So the subject to addendum, that's at the bottom of this contract. We'll go over that. Seller acknowledgements, that's pretty standard. There's no seller financing. That's what this portion 1.12 talks about. So 1.13.1, that box should have been checked there. That's my transaction coordinator's mistake. But essentially the property will be transferred subject to the following liens and encumbrances. Your mortgage company, is that still your mortgage company right there, Mid-America?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sometimes they sell it to a third-party servicing company. And then again, we're assuming it's right around $254,000. We'll verify that, so we'll need a recent copy of a mortgage statement. And I'm not sure if maybe Catherine has sent us one or not already. Okay, no worries. So yeah, we'll just okay, sweet, that works. All right, Thomas. So this is where we put in securities to protect you. So buyer to execute performance deed, stating that if the buyer were to default after 90 consecutive days, the property will be deeded back to the seller. If the performance deed is not executed before close of escrow, the contract will be void. Are you seeing that on the contract?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so essentially a performance deed. It's also called a deed in lieu of foreclosure. It's a deed where we sign the deed back to you, and you can file that deed and take possession of the home back. But the performance deed means that there's a performance clause. So that means if we fail to make payments, that's how you can file that deed. So you can't just file it just because you feel like it. There has to be payments missed. Now, the company that holds this document for you is the servicing company. So we will set up a third-party company that takes automatic payments from our account to pay your mortgage, and they will notify you every month, hey, a payment's been made, month after month. And they will also be the ones to notify you, hey, a payment's been missed. So after 90 days, so that would be 3 months of payments, you now have the legal right to file that deed in lieu with the county recorders and take the property back from us. And then this next sentence here, if we default on the loan, any down payment, any monthly payments or repairs made to the property will be forfeited. So you keep all of that. Buyer to pay any and all costs associated with closing. So we're, again, making sure all the closing costs are paid. And we also agreed to pay your listing agent a commission of 2.5%. Sweet. Okay. And then occupancy, there will be no parties in occupancy once the property closes. Now, the rest of this contract, as far as a purchase and sale agreement goes, it might look different, Catherine, from a normal Texas contract. But the rest of this is pretty standard as far as a purchase and sale agreement goes. So if you guys would like to review the rest of this between the two of you, Catherine, read over this and let me know if there's anything that jumps out as not normal to you. Let me know. But again, the rest of this should be pretty standard. What I want to do is go over the subject to addendum with you guys now. Okay. And then, so that should be after the signature page on 13. If you guys are there, we can go over that now. Okay, sweet. And I have a highlighted version where I get the most common questions. So I'll start at the top, the first paragraph there. So the parties acknowledge and agree that the buyer is acquiring the property subject to the seller's existing loans secured by one or more deeds of trust against the property. So that means that the existing loan will not be paid off through the buyer's purchase of the property. The existing loans will remain outstanding, and the deed of trust securing the existing loans will remain as liens against the property. And by purchasing the property subject to, the buyer is not assuming the seller's obligation to or on the existing loans. So as long as you guys understand that, Thomas, I like to really compare this to co-signing a car. So essentially it's your loan, right? But you're allowing us to take over the payments, right? So it's very similar to you co-signing a loan for us. So it doesn't, right, just because we're making the payments, it doesn't eliminate your obligation legally, right? Your name's still on the loan. So God forbid we get abducted by aliens, we get hit by a bus and we start missing payments, you would still be obligated to make those payments. So as long as you understand that.
Right.
Okay. Next. Sorry, say that again. Sorry, Catherine, it's very hard to hear you. It's very muffled. Are you asking if we've ever missed a payment? Yeah, we've never missed a payment. Knock on wood. In the 8 years or so we've been in business, we've never missed a payment. But yeah, I can't hear your first question. Okay. Okay. And yeah, Thomas, I mean, we've been very successful so far. This is our primary business model, taking over people's low interest loans. So we treat it exactly like it's our own loan. If we have a tenant that's in there punching holes in the walls or squatting and not paying, we're going to still pay the mortgage and go through the proper eviction process and get that person out of there. So we treat it exactly like even if the loan is in our own name. So the seller shall, the next part I'm reading here, seller shall remain liable and obligated for the payment of the existing loans, and the existing loans shall remain in your name. And then we also understand, acknowledge, and agree that the deed of trust securing the loan has a due on sale clause, which allows the lender for the existing loans to initiate a foreclosure for the property due to the sale, transfer, or conveyance of the property from seller to buyer. So did Catherine talk to you about this due on sale clause at all, or is that something you've heard of before, Thomas?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Okay, sweet. And so I'll just briefly explain it from my experience. So we've bought a few hundred homes exactly this way, and my company personally has never had the due on sale call triggered. So every single lender has this clause, and it just means they have the right to call it due based on the sale of the property. But in my experience, it's extremely rare. So like I said, we've never personally had it called due. One of my partners that has been doing this for close to 2 decades and has bought thousands of homes this way has only ever had it happen to him maybe 4 or 5 times. And out of all of those times, they were all small credit unions with conventional loans. So your lender, let me pull it back up. Mid-America Mortgage, they're a large national lender. It's very unlikely they call it due. But if they do, there's some securities we put in place to protect you, and some measures we'll take to make sure that we have a game plan if that ever does happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I will go over those too. So, if the bank decides to call the note due, right? If think about it, a lender, these banks, they don't want to own rental properties. They don't want to foreclose on people. It costs them a pretty penny to hire an attorney to then foreclose on a loan, especially if the payments are being made, right? If it's performing, why go through that entire process, right? They're pretty happy as long as the payments are being made. Now, again, if it does happen, they don't care. They see it sold. They want their money back. What we'll do is we can deed the property back to you. So now it's back in your name. And essentially we'll buy it back on a master lease option. So that way we can still rent it out. But you're now the owner again, and they're happy. Everybody's happy. So, and then other options we could do, we could refinance it into our own name. We could sell it, or just pay it off cash if that was the last resort. Okay.
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
Okay. And yeah, any questions, yeah, feel free to let me know, but it sounds like we're kind of on the same page so far.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pull back up my document. Okay. Now we can go to these bullet points here on page 1. So these are documents that will need to be signed. My transaction coordinator will make sure that these get signed during the process of closing, or be signed at the closing table. So the first one is an authorization to release information in favor of us to allow us to contact the lender and obtain any information. So it's essentially a third-party authorization if we ever need to call the lender and get a statement or ask about the status of a payment, anything like that. It just allows us to contact them without having to bother you. The next one would be notice of change of address delivered to the lender. So they will have your next address that you're moving to be able to send you statements or any letters for whatever reason. They'll know where you live. They'll have your email and your phone, obviously. Same thing for the insurance. The insurance will know that you changed your address, and the HOA, if there is one, will get that document as well. Next one is an escrow letter containing instructions to the lender as to the application funds held by the lender in its escrow account. So this just lets the lender know about the funds that are currently in your escrow account for taxes and insurance. It's just instructions on what they will do with it.
Gotcha.
Yep. Next one is a limited power of attorney to appoint us as an agent for the purpose of providing for and arranging insurance. So just lets us get insurance on the property. Essentially, it allows us to make sure that there's insurance on the property. And then lastly, you'll sign an assignment of insurance proceeds. So if we ever need to file a claim, the proceeds will go to us and not to you, so that we can make repairs on the property.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this next one here, this big, bold, highlighted part, this is always the part I hate about going over our contract, but it says seller shall hold buyer harmless and hereby releases buyer from any and all liability in the event buyer decides to not keep, maintain, or obtain insurance coverage for or related to the property. So I don't like that my attorneys put this in our contract, but I understand why. It's from a technicality, because your name is on the loan. You're the one that's still obligated to maintain insurance. So if you own the property free and clear, right, it's up to you whether you want to have home insurance or not. But us being investors, it would be extremely irresponsible and not good business to have insurance on the property. So this just states that we're not legally obligated to have insurance, but we will 100% have insurance on this property. Any questions about that? Does that make sense? And let me actually explain how insurance works too. So at the closing table, we will add ourselves as additional insured on your existing policy. And then after about 2 months, we will then get our own policy and add you as an additional insured on that policy. So that's how insurance will work. Any questions about that?
I have a quick one, Dylan.
I guess my question is, though, from my understanding, I should keep my home insurance, but I shouldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, so keep your insurance policy in place. We'll be paying for it through the escrow payments of the mortgage statement. So it's not like it'll come out of your pocket or anything like that. Keep it in place, and then we'll coordinate with your insurance agent and our insurance agent to get a new policy, add you as additional insured, and then get rid of your old policy for you. So you won't have to do anything with insurance.
Gotcha.
Yep. Sweet. Okay. So that's insurance. 100%. We will have insurance on the property. So I will keep going. So it says seller shall cooperate with buyer and execute any and all documents buyer or any insurance company deems necessary. That it just means that we'll still need some cooperation from you after we close to make sure we handle changing insurance and that goes smoothly. So this next part in bold here, this is a scary part for most sellers, but I'll explain it to you. So it says, in the event the seller breaches the contract or this addendum after close of escrow, the parties agree that the buyer shall be entitled to $50,000 in damages, as it will be difficult to fix actual damages. In the event of such breach, the parties agree that $50,000 shall be deemed a reasonable estimate of buyer's damages in the event seller breaches the contract or this addendum after close of escrow. So our attorney added this verbiage because we had a seller who sold us her property, same way we're looking at it, subject to her existing mortgage. My guess is after she sold it to us, there were a couple of years went by and she saw how much the property appreciated. And so she hired an attorney and started causing issues with the existing lender, claiming amnesia. She claimed that she had no recollection of selling us the home or signing a contract. She had no idea who we were. Obviously, this was a lie, but it caused a lot of issues with the lender, and we had to essentially give the home back to her. So that's why we put this in here, is because that cost us a lot of money and we ended up losing the home. So as long as you have no ill will, you have no ill intent, right? You agree that selling this home is in your best interest, then you should have no problem signing this. And then another story, we had a seller, this didn't happen to us, but a seller sold a buddy of mine their home exactly the same way, subject to, and then he proceeded to just damage the property. After they closed, he went and destroyed the fence, and just cause damage to the property. So as long as you have no intent of doing either of those things, you should have no problem signing this. So any questions about that?
No, sir.
Sweet. Okay. So I will keep going. So these are our representations and warranties as the buyer. It just says that we fully understand the terms of this contract and that we understand how it's being acquired. So obviously we do. Now, the last bullet point of this buyer's representations and warranties, it says in the event the seller has not breached the contract. Do you see that part?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a major protection for you in this contract. It says in the event the seller has not breached the contract, and the lender invokes the due on sale clause, the buyer shall hold the seller harmless for any loss or damages which may occur as a result of lender's foreclosure. So again, as long as you didn't call the lender, you didn't cause any issues, and the lender does decide to invoke their due on sale clause, we will hold you harmless for any loss or damages. So again, it's our issue, right? So if they decide to foreclose on us, and we've made a ton of payments to the loan, right? We put a money down, we paid the agent, we made repairs to the property. We can't go after you for any of the damages or loss which recur as a result of that foreclosure. And also, we're going to take it upon ourselves to handle and try to basically stop that foreclosure with whatever power we can.
Right.
Okay. Sweet. So that's just a major point I wanted to highlight there. Now, these next ones are your warranties and representations. So it just says that you're aware and fully understand the terms of this contract and the addendum and the nature of the transaction completed thereby. You will not make any statements or engage in any contact that will cause or is likely to cause any lender for the existing loans to initiate foreclosure proceedings. Right. So again, it's just reiterating that you will not make any statements or conduct in any way that is likely to result for the lender, the insurance, the HOA to come back and cause issues. Now this last part here is where you'll initial. This is again just like your disclosures and acknowledgments. So you are selling the home to us, so you will no longer have ownership or control of the property. So again, you probably understand that. This next one, I don't really get this one, and we're not giving you a loan. So I'm sure you understand that this is not a loan that we're providing. This next one, existing loans not paid in full. Again, you understand, acknowledge, and agree that the existing loans for which the seller is the borrower will not be paid in full as a result of this transaction. Next one, continuing liability on existing loans. You understand, acknowledge, and agree that no promises have been made to you by the buyer to the seller that the existing loans will be assumed or paid off. Failure to make timely payments. So this is one where you understand that, it's obvious if we fail to make timely payments, right, it could affect your credit negatively. So as long as you understand that, and then vice versa, as long as we make timely payments, it will affect your credit positively. So understand that your credit will be effective or affected. Again, we've never missed payments. We've never been late on payments. So, knock on wood, your credit will only continue to go up. So seller understands, acknowledges, and agrees that in the event the loans are not paid, seller will be subject to a foreclosure proceeding. So this is just worst case scenario. We always want to be as transparent as possible. Worst case, if we do miss, let's say 3 months of payments, right, the lender will likely issue a notice of default, right? They've noticed 3 payments have been missed. Now, if that happens, obviously you get the home back. We have no further ownership. We forfeited everything. You will be responsible to catch those payments back up. So whether you put it on a credit card, you get a bridge loan or just a loan from a family member, or just pay them off in cash, that would be up to you. You would have to catch those payments back up, but now it's your home to rent out or sell again. So just as long as you understand that that's the worst case scenario, is we miss payments, you will have to catch them back up. But hopefully, right, the property is appreciated. We've paid the loan down. So now you have a lot of equity built up, and now you can sell it for an even bigger profit.
Yes, sir.
And then again, existing loans on court, we just talked about that. You doing as we talked that property insurance proceeds, we talked about that. But again, if we ever need repairs on the property, maintaining property insurance, we spoke about that. And then sometimes I even add in that initial, that second to last one, I will just add a little asterisk that says buyer is to maintain property insurance on the property, just to make you feel more comfortable. And then this last one is the most important. You acknowledge, agree that disclose to you or being subject to sale of the property, and you agree that selling the properties is in your best interest, and you agree to be bound by the terms of this contract and all the addendums there too. And that would essentially be it. So any questions about anything we just went over?
No, sir.
Okay.
I know Catherine did a great job, and obviously you're doing a great job now. So just answered everything.
Okay, right on. But yeah, obviously you don't need to sign right now, but if you still want to get this looked over by an attorney, a CPA, whoever, you're more than welcome to. But if you're ready to sign, just have Catherine send it over and we'll get escrow open and get this thing sold. So.
Okay, well, thank you guys for your time. We'll disconnect. I'll talk to Thomas separately, and then we'll contact you guys with our final answer.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you guys so much. Yeah, just keep us posted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Sweet. Okay, so that took a little bit longer than I would like it to, but right, we just want to make sure they fully understand. Someone stand, we have this contract. Unfortunately, you can't stand. We signed an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, when we joined sub 2 with PACE. I actually asked a few people if we could even read it over Zoom to people that are students. We did get, I think, a thumbs up, but we can't share it with you. No. Who was on the call? The seller. That was his agent. So and she was the agent. Sweet, Diana, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you had a question, but yeah, what was your question? Oh, I think you're muted now, Diana.
Wait.
Sorry, what was that? I missed it.
You answered it along the way. Thank you.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Hey, Dylan, how long were you working with that? There were some questions. How long were you working with that seller?
Not very long, to be honest. So we had a baby elephant. I can look who it was, but we had a baby elephant call that lead.
June 27th.
June 27th.
Looks like it started.
Nice.
And it was Crystal's lead. So Crystal, if you're here on the call, good job.
Right on, Crystal.
Christy, excuse me, Christy
Christy.
Melita.
Christy,
Apologies
yeah, Christy,
for mispronouncing your name.
That was the
No
agent
worries.
and the seller, right, Dill?
Yes. Yep. So June 27th, I'll actually see. Yeah. So that lead came in on the 27th. Let's see the notes. We sent an offer on the 29th. And then it looks like we took a while, maybe like another week, to follow up, and they liked our offer, a little bit of back and forth. And then we sent the contract a few conversations later, and we went over it with them, and they, most likely, it sounds like they're ready to go. They'll sign it and send it back over today. So
This was a funny one too, because, I originally had some back and forth with them and was trying to, get them to just give me 5 minutes to explain what sub 2 is, because they didn't know. And she's like, no, just send me the contract. And so we sent the contract and that, or the LOI, and actually she had some questions, and that's when we, finally got to kind of explain it, but it was just kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows, right? Like it could be like just my experience, right? Maybe I matched her tone in a different way and she agreed to that, or she could have just, been having a better day the day I called her. So, but yeah, she finally was more interested and started asking questions and like then it sounded like something clicked where she understood it. And then we sent her the contract and here we are. So, yeah, that was great. That was kind of just an impromptu. I don't know. I didn't really plan that until Artie said, "Hey, she only has time at noon today." So, but yeah, any other questions that you guys have about that property or just how that deal works, anything like that? How long was it on the market? Let's see.
I got to run to another meeting real quick, Dylan, but I super appreciate this. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys later.
No worries, brother. Thanks, man. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. Let's see. This was 39 days listed. So not very long. I mean, that's pretty standard. That's, about average of what you're seeing from being on the market. Let me read the notes so when I train my other baby elephants to call, I teach them to get motivation. So it just says he's looking to move. Let's see, got the objection to Simon not want to do subject to. We had a conversation already, which turned him around. Love that. Okay, so it doesn't look like we necessarily got their full pain or motivation, but it sounds like they just needed to move. Let me see if this is a VA. That could also be the motivation, as they got redeployed. No, this is an FHA too. So we actually don't necessarily didn't, as far as I could tell, didn't really get the motivation. So nope, not a pre-foreclosure, just low equity. I mean, this guy wanted to sell for whatever reason. And he would have to write a check if he sold it. Yeah, low equity, FHA. So we try to figure out the motivation on the first call. So it's likely maybe we didn't get it exactly, or we just didn't take the best notes. But for whatever reason, this guy has to sell. I don't think it's a pre-foreclosure. They haven't disclosed at all that he's missed payments, and we asked them. So
Dylan,
yeah,
did
just,
I
he wanted
miss?
to sell.
Did they say they wanted the hot water heater, or they're taking the washer and dryer?
The washer and dryer. Yeah, he
Yeah,
already
that's
took the washer and dryer.
Yeah,
They
okay. I
want-
was gonna say.
They want the cold water heater.
Yeah, the cold water.
I'm just kidding.
Shut up. How did your team generate the lead? So we market and actively look for on-market properties with low equity. And I will literally show you guys maybe $20,000 of value that you can screenshot right now. Because will you share your screen with me, Angie? Or I mean, co-host me? There we go. Okay. I'll show you guys $20,000 worth of value right now. So be prepared for this. So this is the filter I use to find these properties. This is it right here. If you guys want to screenshot this, this is the filter. So I'll go over it with you real quick. So obviously we're looking for residential properties, single family, multifamily, doesn't matter. 3-bed, 2-bath or more is kind of what we prefer. We don't like to play around with the much smaller homes than that. I'm looking for sale properties, people that have their hand raised, right? So I'm not marketing to just anybody. These people already want to sell. So I'm not having to convince or anything like that. MLS status active. I want them to be active, not pending, not failed, none of that. I try to keep under $550,000 as a list price. Owner type, it can be any individual, corporate, mixed trust. here's the kicker, loan to value. So the value of their home is up here. Let's call it 100 grand, just as an example. And their loan is 80 grand or more, right? So meaning this portion up here is equity. They have low equity. They have 20% or less equity. Perfect candidates for subject to. Number of open mortgages, I want one only. I don't want two. I don't want zero. I want one. And then remaining balance, 500,000 or less. Again, I'd prefer to play with smaller, cheaper homes, but because we do this all over the country, there's going to be none in Colorado if I didn't do less. So, and then loan types, there's only 3 loans I want: conventional, FHA, and VA. I don't want down payment assistance loans. I don't want construction loans, only these 3. And then my interest rates, I want 4.5% or better. So hopefully you guys, that's $100K in value right there. I hope you guys screenshotted that. And the reason I don't care to show this with you guys, like, I'm confident some of you in here can call an agent and or seller, pitch subject to at a high level, underwrite and send an offer that makes sense, then try to negotiate and answer objections and high level questions with that seller, then to have a subject to contract that works, then to know how to open escrow, hire a transaction coordinator, have funds to deposit earnest money, then know how to market that property, schedule someone to go out and take pictures for you. If you know how to do all of that and you had no idea about this filter, there you go. I guarantee I just made you 100 grand this year. But if you guys don't know how to do all of those steps right, go out and find properties like this and bring them to us. We will help you close and joint venture with you. This is our bread and butter. I don't love cash. I don't love multifamily. I don't love land. This is what we look for. So if you guys want to bring us leads, this is what I look for. So feel free to go out there and start hammering calls with this filter. That's my search on PropStream. Yep. Stevie, you have a question?
Sorry, I must have hit something.
No worries, you got it. Oh, so you didn't have a question. Sharon says, are we able to construct these same parameters in Privy? Unfortunately not. Privy and PropStream are 2 different things. PropStream is way better for filtering and pulling lists. You can filter on Privy, but it just doesn't have, it's not going to have loan to value. It's not going to have loan types, interest rate, owner type. It just is not going to have those. So unfortunately not. You're going to need PropStream or Bash leads. You can find low equity. So if you're looking on Privy, you can look at public records, like here's a property in Commerce City. You can look at public records, mortgage info, and see what their interest rate is, but you just can't filter for what type of interest rate or how low the interest rate is. You'll have to find them individually. What are the terms on this lead, or is that done after they sign the contract? Yeah, so we offered 60, like we offered the agent around 2%, a 2% commission, I think, or no, 2.5. I have it up right here actually. So we offered the agent 6,500 and we offered the seller 7,250. So we can now buy this house for roughly, $13,000, $14,000, plus closing costs, right? And take over his existing low interest rate. I forget exactly what his interest rate was. And then our purchase price was 260. So we're buying this deal for roughly 5% total. So, right, like that's just why we're in such a good spot. Subject to is just so much better than a lot of other niches out there, because I'm literally buying a turnkey property that needs no work for 5% and I'm getting an amazing interest rate. Where else can you do that? We get this question almost every time. It says, which do you prefer, PropStream or Privy? I would say they're 2 different things. I like to use Privy to comp properties and find buyers. I don't use PropStream for either of those. You can comp and you can find buyers on PropStream, but I prefer PropStream to pull lists and get more info about a property. So PropStream just has more data, I would say, than you can find on Privy. Sean Baxter says, is there someone that wants to work together and split a PropStream account? You can do that. Absolutely. So make friends in the comments. JV with each other, right? Split PropStream together. That's such a good idea. Tara missed the screenshot. Someone please be a friend and DM Tara. You can even send it in the chat. Yeah, Robin, you really can't compare those two. You just can't compare PropStream and Privy. If I only purchase one, which is best? Again, they're two different things. Does PropStream work like non-disclosed states? It does, yeah. So Texas, Idaho, it will show you what properties have sold for, but so does Privy. So awesome. We can share. Yeah, absolutely. I think we have that. Here we go. I forget who it was. Tara, was it? Oh, here we go. There you guys go. That's the filter. Take a screenshot. And then I just have it in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but obviously it works around the country. So
what's not going to work around the country though is the MLS listing amount. You can't take that same amount into Texas. So you have to have some kind of an idea of what your median home price is. If you did that in Texas, you're getting mansions. So you want to be down like the 250, 300 range. So just know that the market you're in will dictate that MLS figure.
Exactly. Right. So like if I look at Denver County, Colorado, watch this. None, because homes here are over 500 grand. And also people have more equity than 20%. But if I look in what's interesting is you go to Maricopa County, Arizona, watch this, 32. So like it's perfect. Most homes are right around that high 300s, mid 400 range. And a lot of people have low equity in Arizona. And then if you did like, what's a major county in like, I don't know, I was typing Cleveland, Ohio. Right, there's not that many. I only just did the city of Cleveland, but like look at the average home price, 50,000, 200, 100, 30,000, 116. So yeah, definitely make sure you're editing that for the median home price. And your recommendation is to determine that using the median income, or what would you consider aspects if you're new to the area? Well, so this filter, I mean, it really, all it's doing is it's saying 550,000 or less. So a $550,000 home in Texas is going to have $13,000 in taxes, property taxes. So that's probably why you don't want to target $500,000 homes in Texas. But if you're in Colorado, I would actually have to get rid of this filter for it to populate for me. So let me now go to Denver County. So now there's 5, but again, like that's because they're all super expensive, like 1.9 million, 620, 540, 3.6 million, 550. So Robin, you have a question?
I'm not sure if this is the right Zoom for this. So if I'm outside the box, just tell me. Since Linda and I are doing what we're doing, like trying to become efficient about analyzing deals and whatnot so that we can contribute to the team.
Yes.
Is this the appropriate space to
Yes,
ask
I already know what you're doing. Yeah. And I forget. So yeah, please.
I'm hopeful that everyone recognizes the time value factor. We are all busy. We all have things going on. And none of us want to waste time. I don't want to suggest that sending in leads is a waste of time. You clearly have worked, found the thing, and want to send it in. What's important to understand is that there needs to be an adequate amount of information. So don't go scouring Zillow or even PropStream or wherever and building yourself a list and throwing in there to us. I don't want to be a bee, but my position is if it doesn't have the right information, I'm going to tell you that there's not enough information and go back and do your research. Make sure you're talking to somebody. Talk to the homeowner, talk to the agent. Do not send me crap. I don't have time. So I got off on the bee thing, sorry. But I want to help everybody. I want everyone to be successful, but that means respect my time too. I'm already trying to figure out how to juggle all these balls. Please help me.
Yeah, I love it. And what Robin is talking about is if you guys want to send us leads. So I am going to show you that right now, I think. Yeah, here we go. Let me grab this. Great copy form.
Hey, Dylan,
Okay,
can I
so if
add
you,
to that?
yeah, please, yeah. So let me preface it real quick. So we have a form. I am posting the link to that right now in the channel. So if you guys have leads and you're not quite sure what the next step is, whether you need help underwriting it, closing it, finding a buyer, you can submit it to us and we will JV and help you out. But again, like Robin said, we have our own stuff going on. So if you're submitting leads with no info, or right, you never contacted someone, we're probably just going to throw it away. So we want you to do as much legwork, get it as far in the timeline as you possibly can. And then once you submit it, give us as much information, how your conversations went. If the agent's nice, if the agent's rude, whatever you can, give us as much information. So now we know what to do with that lead. So go ahead, Linda.
Yeah, and I was just going to add to that, just saying, it's okay to be stuck. Just let us know, hey, this is as far as I got. And I kind of talked about creative, or I was afraid to talk creative, but I think they might be open to it. It's okay to say that, but we need that information. But having just information saying, you don't know anything, and this is what this is, or just like I say, giving us a post from Zillow and putting it on there doesn't help us, because now we're like having to backpedal to find out what exactly did you say. Did you actually have a conversation with the agent, or the agent, if we get on the phone with the agent, they're like, yeah, I have no idea who this person is. We have no idea what you're talking about. And yet you guys put these boxes saying that you talk to the agent or you talk to the seller and they're open to creative and they're clueless. So yeah, definitely as much as you can. Again, it's okay to be stuck. We all get stuck. I get stuck. To say, okay, this is as far as I got. I'm not comfortable. Would you be willing to help me out here? So,
Linda, I'd like to add to that, by you going through that process and getting all that info, that's the process to learn how to do this. Going and being uncomfortable and not knowing where to find the information, but stretching that brain muscle and finding that information, getting creative. That's what will launch you forward to know what a good deal is. So don't just, I guess what everybody's saying is, don't just depend on us to go back and tell you everything you're missing. Try to do it on your own in the beginning. And that is the key for you to make the next step up.
Yeah, and we'll help you. We'll be like, hey, these are the things that you need to ask them and stuff like that. Or and this is the information we need so that we could properly underwrite it, so that we can help you out, so you can understand next time what you need in order to get better at talking with them and to get better information from them, stuff like that.
Love it. Yeah, great point too. Yeah, thank you guys. I totally would have forgot about that too. So, and if you guys submit leads, the people you will be talking to are two of the nicest ladies I've ever worked with. It's Linda and Robin. So they're extremely nice. They're extremely patient. But we also do tend to have a lot of leads submitted. So if we can't get to it immediately, again, be patient with them. And if I'm in no way calling anyone out specifically here, but if you guys are rude to Robin and Linda, you're blacklisted from me. So I'll just leave it at that. If you feel they're being too slow or they're incompetent, go find someone else. These ladies do not work for you. They're literally donating their time to get better themselves. So please be patient and nice to them as well. Because I will not be nice about it. Cool. Okay. Pansy, you have a question?
Yeah, Dylan. So when speaking to a couple of agents, I thought that like they were kind of interested in hearing more. Is there like a general email that you guys have put together with kind of the information of what we're looking for that we could shoot them, you know, over to them instead of like bothering you guys for that information or whatever?
Yeah. So we have a subject to frequently asked questions that you can send them. And that just explains a little bit more about it. What I tend to do is anytime an agent, so first of all, if you guys didn't know, if you send an agent an offer, even if it's a letter of intent, technically they're supposed to show their client, right? They won't always, but the vast majority of agents will. So if they have questions about it, right, or you don't know how to explain subject to the best, I tell all of the people that send me leads, just let them know, right? Always try to get your 4 pillars. So your price, motivation, timeline, and condition. Those are the 4 things at minimum you guys should be getting to send us a lead. So try to get the motivation, the condition, the price that they want, and the timeline they're willing to sell.
Right,
Those to
Dylan.
us are qualified leads. Oh, sorry, Pansy. I'm like teaching through you. But
No, I know. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but maybe you misunderstood. Like, okay, so speaking to an agent, the house that they had for sale was no longer for sale, but trying to build a relationship for that with them and getting them to like want to send me other stuff that could possibly match what I was originally looking for. Do we have like an email that I could shoot them? Hey, you know, this is kind of what we're looking for.
Okay.
And how we
like a buy
type
box.
thing. Yeah, like the buy box
Okay.
and how, you know, some of the strategies so that, you know, if they were interested, you know, they could possibly send it over to you guys or me or however that would work.
Absolutely. So that is actually I will arrive at the answer to your question too, Pansy. Let me
Okay,
restart
thank you. I
with
won't
this.
interrupt
Yeah.
anymore.
No worries. No, I appreciate it. So okay. If you guys didn't know, we have our very own Facebook group for just our elephant leader community. It's called Herd of Profits. We just surpassed over 1,000 members. So I will drop that into the chat. Look at that. Tyler's got it down, man. There's the Facebook group. So if you guys join this, right, we have good resources for you guys, right? You can ask questions. You'll find the links to our Zooms in here, but I would say most importantly, we have some good resources in here for you. So your question, Pansy, right? So here is our buy box in a PDF right here. Oh, it's just going to download it for the 40th time. I keep doing that. But this is essentially, if it opens, this is our buy box. So now we might need to actually revise this and re-upload it, but these are all generalities, but these are the states we love to buy homes in, even though we'll look at most states, but we prefer 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, little to no rehab, but no small town, Airbnb where the areas are favorable, short-term rental laws, will cash flow as a long-term rental, entry fee less than 20%, preferably 10% down payment or less, $350,000 and below. Mainly, we'll look at anything higher. So you guys can all download this. That is, again, in the files tab of our Herd of Profits Facebook group. And then we also have, I think, common questions and concerns about selling on terms. So this is another document you can share with agents. And then I think this, subject to FAQ. So this is another document, just common questions that people don't know about subject to. You can send that as well too, Pansy. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. I did not
Okay.
realize that that was there, but I think I might have to somehow revise the buy box since Illinois is not on there, and that's where I'm at.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, also another resource for you guys, download this or go to this website and create an account. It's called dochub.com, and it's a free PDF editor. You can actually edit up to 5 PDFs a day totally for free. And this is what we use to send all of our contracts. So Pansy, yeah, if you want to update that and just add Illinois, you totally can. Okay, sweet,
Dylan,
sweet. And then
Dylan,
yeah, assessing.
just want to give you a heads up.
Okay.
In one of my leads, I was trying to do the subject to with the agent on it. I don't know if I did a good job explaining, but she was very nice about it. And she said she wanted to know more with her broker on the line to discuss. So
I
just
love
a heads up for you and Joey that next week they're going to call to get an idea about what subject to is all about. Because she's
Okay,
been
I
getting a
love it.
lot of calls about subject to, but she doesn't really understand it. So I said my partners could explain it better. Okay.
Okay, sweet.
All
I
right,
love it.
thank you.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, good job, assessing. That's amazing. And two, this is another strategy. I'll diverge for a second too. If you guys ever have agents that are very nice and open and wanting to learn about subject to, try to schedule some meetings with them and some people on their teams or their brokers, and we'll get on there with you and explain how subject to works, and you can just get a lot of good leads sent to you that way. Yolanda, it is. Let me make sure I said your name right. I lost it. Yeah, Yolanda, it is Doc Hub, DOCHUB, dochub.com. Yep. Doc Hub. Oh, you guys got me. Sweet. Sean says, can you name the 4 things that we need again? So yeah, for you guys to submit leads, right, you need what are called the 4 pillars, the pillars of a lead, right? It's price, motivation, timeline, and condition. So if you can get those things right, now you have an actual lead. I don't have a calendar just because I feel like people would really book up my time. So I don't have a calendar, but you can get in touch with Rachel. You can shoot us a DM on Facebook. You can make a post in the Herd of Profits and tag us. Shoot me a text message if you have my number, whatever. Just let me know and we'll coordinate it. Yeah, Veronica. Yeah, schedule an appointment with brokers and agents, right, that are open to a meeting like that, and let them know we'll be your go-to investors for these types of properties. Agents and brokers love that. What's your strategy for home? For that home, we probably plan to wholesale that one, so we'll likely sell that to another investor, make an assignment fee, and move on to the next one. Yeah, probably wholesale that one, just because it's in Texas. If it was maybe in a different state, we might consider keeping it, but for right now, we just really want to continue to build our reserves through wholesaling. Stan, join the Herd of Profits Facebook group, man. I'm sure you can find some buddies in here. How do you calculate assignment fee? I'm basically, so my entry is like we discussed around like 13,000. And my purchase price was 270,000. So I'm going to try to get it to 10% of 270. So 13 plus whatever it's going to take me to get to 27,000. So 10% is where I'll market the entry fee for that property. So whatever the difference is what I'll add my assignment fee. Yeah, Tyler. I mean, that would take someone some time, but if we could do that, that'd be sweet for sure. PSL Florida will definitely try to get into a greater list. I'm pretty sure you got it. Let's go. Love it. Awesome. Well, I am going to, let me just finish off with some self-promotion here if you guys don't mind. So we do have some other good resources for you guys. This is a seller net sheet. I send this with every single subject to offer I send. It's a side-by-side comparison that shows how we will make the seller more money. They will make more money with our offer with a subject to transaction. So this is a great tool to play around with. Here's a script.
A question about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Amy. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
no
mean
worries.
to interrupt, but there are a couple of cells on there. I used to live and breathe Excel spreadsheets, so I'm pretty familiar with it, and it's such a great tool. But it's the two cells that don't calculate, the yellow cells. Would it be possible to even, because I know you guys are really familiar with your terms, to even put a little message next to those yellow cells, like this is how you arrived at those numbers? Because I spent a lot of time just diving in trying to arrive at the numbers you had in the sample. And I don't want to add to your burden, but that would be really helpful.
Yeah. So like how we arrived here, right? Yeah, maybe
like what are the I guess if you had to put a formula in that box, what would it have been? Does that make sense?
It would,
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe add some steps. It's pretty much add $7,000 roughly to whatever this is. So
whatever. Okay. Yeah. And even if
Right.
I'm happy to do whatever I can to help, even just add a factor of $7,000 or whatever is relevant for the market, that would help. Because then I was, eventually just kind of guessing. So.
Right. Okay. No, I like that actually. I'm going to put that on my to-do list is make sort of a cheat sheets.
Well, yeah. And I'm happy to like do a draft, Dylan, and then you can hack it if you want to. I just want to help because I just have to say, you guys, the time you spend with us doing role plays, doing these Zooms, everything is time that you're taking away from your business. And I know that we generate some leads for you. I also know that every minute of an entrepreneur's day is incredibly valuable. And I, as an entrepreneur who's been in it for, 15 years, I'm just in awe of this. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, no worries. I think it would be easy to maybe just make some steps like edit this as step 1, edit this as step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and then leave some notes in there too. I think that would make it really easy because I know a lot of people, like I literally had an agent yesterday say that this document, the seller net sheet, he told me that if you keep sending this document, this will get our company so much more business. Which it really has, because it's so clear, right? Sell it to our company, make 32,000, or sell it on the market at your current asking price and make 25, right? It's a no-brainer. So if we can get this to where you guys know how to really edit it, it just only benefits you and it benefits our community. So no, that's a great idea. I think I just need to make a little cheat sheet. So that's a good idea. I mean, do you send the whole file or just a screenshot? I just send a PDF of that so they can't mess around with it. Okay, so, but yeah, seller net sheet. I'll add in a cheat sheet for the seller net sheets. Here's a script to call agents and explain subject to and creative financing. Foreclosure process. So that's a good document. Here's an underwriting calculator, how to underwrite rental properties. Here's our buy box. This document, estimating repair costs, is an amazing PDF. If you guys have no construction or renovation experience, downloading this document and reading it will really help you. And then these letter of intent templates, that's basically what we send to, this is like that. We don't send full purchase and sale agreements. This is like, I just send a letter of intent. It simply spells out the terms, the 2-page document, and it's just super simple. So we have all of these in there that you can download and edit as well. So make sure you guys join the Herd of Profits Facebook group. And then we also have YouTube. So we are currently live on YouTube. Let's see how many people we have watching. 14. Thank you guys. If you're watching on YouTube right now, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. please subscribe. So, and then for you guys in the Zoom, Angie is at 958 subscribers. If we could just bump that number up by 20, we're trying to get her to 1,000 by the end of this month. I think we can do it. If you guys could please go subscribe to Angie. All of our past Zooms have been recorded on her channel. You can watch Joel, who was challenged by Pace to make 5 calls every day to agents. So Pace said that if he makes 5 calls every day for 90 days, he will pay him $10,000. I wish we all got that offer, but unfortunately, I mean, he just gave it to Joel, who's very deserving of it. Joel shows up and is constantly in every Zoom taking action. So you guys can watch Joel make live calls. That'll be up there. Yeah, I'll take that offer, he says. Q&As, right? Underwriting, calling agents live. We do a ton of Zooms. So if you guys want to come subscribe and check out these Zooms, just more resources for you guys. Oh no, Ernest. I'm sorry to hear that. And then lastly, one of the best ways you guys can help us out is by coming into the creative real estate with Pace Morby and tagging our team, tagging the Herd of Profits, just letting people know about the Elephant Challenge and dropping nuggets that you've learned, and just share with people, right, why the Elephant Challenge is great and awesome. So if you guys could shout out our team, tag everybody, let them know, that just really helps us out. So make sure you guys, if you don't mind, shout us out on the creative real estate page. And I think that's about it. So our next Zoom will be Tuesday of next week. It's a Q&A. So Tuesdays at 4 p.m. we do a general Q&A. So bring your questions, bring deals, bring leads. You guys need help underwriting, whatever you got, bring it there. And then our Friday Zooms are always more targeted. So I will leave it there. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Be safe, crush it. If you guys need anything, post it in the Facebook group, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Peace. Thanks. See you guys.